Yeah, so actually this was another question. You've already touched on it, which is talk about the process of designing guitars. How do you pursue originality in an instrument that seems like there's not much you can do with it at first, right? We see like, well, the Strat, the design is already established. Then there's the Les Paul, which is also very established. It's difficult to do something outside of that. So I'd like you to talk a bit about this issue of originality. And what's the trick? As we say here in Rio, the trick, yeah, for a design to turn out well. Because sometimes it's one thing for a guy to draw. I remember when I surf, right? And I used to order some boards. I would make the designs for the paintings on my boards. But they never turned out the same, you know? So it's one thing to draw, and another thing to be able to imagine that design implemented and functional. Talk a bit about that.
Well, let's go. I think it's like this. I need to understand what I'm working on, right? Oh, the guy comes in to make a design for a guitar. He wants to make a guitar shaped like a rocket. All right, cool. Where am I going to put the bridge? Where will I place the fretboard? What do I need to do? Where will the pickups go? Right? So I asked the guy, is this going to be playable? Are you going to display it? Or is it just a decorative piece? No, man, I want to play. So then we have to take a different approach, right? The project itself.
Yeah, from these crazy ideas.
Yeah. How does the project itself come to life? I have to understand what I'm talking about, right? It's very difficult for me to design a guitar that's different from another, right? And to have a collection of different images, because they will always start from the same principle, right? So, for example, how do you design a different Strat? You have to have inspiration. You have to go in a different direction, right? For example, we have a guitar called Scarlet, right? This Scarlet, if you look at this guitar from the front, you'll say, yeah, it looks a lot like a Strat.
Let's see it here too. Mitch could already be showing it to the audience. So the Scarlet, is it black or sparkle or either one?
It could be that sparkle there, a red sparkle.
So let's go. It's the sparkle here, right? Little red one, right?
Beautiful, you see?
Beautiful.
Look, this guitar is wonderful, man.
Let's go. So talk about that Strat there.
Let's go. You notice that the curves it has are anatomical curves, right? So we call it the comfort line, right? So this guitar has...
It's like that, right? All right.
This guitar has several comfort lines, which are comfortable accesses to make it more ergonomic.
Okay.
So what did I think when I played? Man, I would pick up a guitar like a Les Paul to play. I think the Les Paul is wonderful. Wow, it's a guitar. It's the dream guitar, right? It's a beautiful guitar. But it wasn't so comfortable to play, and when you reach the end here on the last frets, the access was difficult. The day I went to design an LPX, which is our single cut, I wanted to change that concept.
Do you have the LPX here too?
Yes, we do. But I think I'll talk about this one, the Strat, first. Sorry.
No, it's fine. Go ahead. Talk about the Strat.
Sorry, let's go. So, what did I think? I based it, for example, on a Strat, right? Where I incorporated all these comfort features, made this guitar lighter. I don't like heavy guitars, made it lighter. And a very interesting thing, the arrangement here, I really like working with a guitar with the neck touching here on the pickup, because then I can bring the bass pickup closer to the neck. And I get a really nice tone gain on this guitar, right? So it has a softer bass, right? And with all this, I was designing this guitar. It had 3 versions. It didn't start out this way.
But what says it's not this design here, right?
Not this one.
It's Viper, right?
I'll talk about this one in a bit.
Okay, cool.
So it's because you asked about the changes, right?
Yes, exactly.
So then for example, this Scarlet that we have, the neck shape is completely different from a Strat. The body shape resembles a bit at the front, but it has a larger cutaway, allowing access to the highest frets, something the Strat didn't have. Yes, the back part, right, where you rested against your ribs was also redesigned for more comfort. So you have to think about all of this.
It's because, if I may open a parenthesis, Gibson is a brand that has a significant impact here in Brazil in general, right? Tião from Velha Guitarra came here. And there have been other people here who manufacture instrument parts or work in luthiery, and Gibson approaches them and says, "My friend, you can't do this because this is exclusive to Gibson." You also mentioned an interesting fact that Fender also has issues. It's not just Gibson, right?
Oh, don't even get me started.
So, talk about this issue with Fender. But also, man, what do they accept as a sufficient change so that it doesn't fall under their patent or copyright issues?
Well, I'll tell you my perception of what happened. I'm not an expert in patents, but I'll tell you what happened. I sold a guitar to a guitarist named Hudson from the duo Edson and Hudson.
Cool. He's a heavy guitarist.
I went to deliver the guitar to him at his house and all. And I received a weird email. I thought, I won't open it now. So, wow, I was over the moon that the guy attended to me. Man, this guitarist, besides being a very good guitarist, he's a super nice guy, really humble. Man, the guy is hugely successful. And he bought one of our guitars, really liked it and all. Then we left his house. We stopped somewhere to have lunch, and I went to read the email. When I read the email, I even lost my appetite, man. I said, wow, man. Fender sent an extrajudicial notification to us here. Then I started to open and read it. Right, in Portuguese itself. It was a law firm that sent it. And they were saying that and so the case was laid out there, right? They were saying that we, were using the name Strat, right? That this name is the name they hold. They are the holders of the patent for this name. They have the rights to this name, right? It's their proprietary name. And I had put the name on my guitar. It's called Legend, right? I have a Strat model there. That it was called Legend Strat. They said, no, from today on, you can't use that name anymore because Strat belongs to Fender. It's their property. And our headstock is like this. The body is like this. So then I understood. I said it was a mistake on my part, right? It wasn't intentional.
But wasn't it just a joke with the name? Also with the model?
No, it was with the name.
The problem was the name?
Yeah, with name.
It's easy for us to solve.
It was with the name because with the model, they sent me all the details of the model that I couldn't do it that way and so on. I said, man, it's okay, right? All right. And I stopped to analyze. I explained to them, I said, look, I am removing all the guitars that are on my site with this name. The ones that were posted, I'm taking them out of circulation. I won't make them anymore.
But you just need to change the name, right?
And I did change it. I changed the name, right?
But why do you need to remove them? Just say that now the name is different, right?
So there's that word called henceforth, right? Which I learned about on that day, right? So from now on, we will no longer use it. From now on, we won't use it anymore, right? But I don't like bothering people. If it's there, if I did something wrong, I will try to address it, right? So I ended up removing the name. I changed it. Now my guitar is called Legend S.
But is it the same model?
Yes, it's the same model. But look, my headstock is different from Fender's.
And was it like that back then too?
It was. The shape of my body is different from Fender's. It has changes. And my guitar the truss rod system is different. The neck measurements are completely different. They have nothing to do with Fender. I don't use the radii that Fender uses. I use stainless steel frets, something Fender doesn't do. I make a compound radius, something Fender doesn't do. I use hardware. It's sold out. This already characterizes it as another guitar that Fender doesn't make.
I see. Is that enough for them not to bother you anymore?
So, yes, everything worked out.
Okay.
They didn't bother me anymore, right? So it was like a thing that I realized and said, well, Unfortunately, I was being a nuisance, right?
So, but having the same shape as the STRATO, a FENDER STRATO, does that already characterize it for them or not? Does it need more than just the shape? I mean, the shape of the body.
Everyone uses, I'll give you an answer about that, but everyone uses the name Strat. You see, if you search on the internet, everyone uses it. But there's always someone, right? I think because we have an interesting position in the market, they targeted us. Regarding the shape, right? It's clear that you can't copy. If you copy the thing 100%, there are many people who copy blatantly.